I mean, we don't suggest that you eat out everything for Christmas. As a matter of fact, we're going to continue the conversation on how you can do your best to eat as healthy as possible for the holidays. This morning, I want to welcome the founder of Holistically You, Miss Nariscia Phillip-Peters. She joins us via Zoom. Good morning, Nariscia.
Good morning, everybody.
How are you doing this morning?
I am good. I am very good.
Fantastic. All right, so we've been chatting all week about, how best to approach this season from a food perspective. Every year at Christmas time, we know the ham does come out, the pasta does come out, everybody wants sorrel and ginger beer, and we want the works, and we fill up our plates with food. All right, yesterday we learned maybe it mightn't be a good idea to fill up your plate. Let me do everything with a little bit of portion control. Tell me what else we can do
Correct.
for the holidays when it comes to eating healthy.
Well, one of the first things that I usually tell clients is drink more water. A
Ah,
lot of the times, a lot of the times, we don't drink water. And sometimes when we tell ourselves, oh, I'm thirsty now, it's actually the fact that we're actually dehydrated. So it leaves us feeling like we're hungry, but in fact, we just need some more water. So that's one of the first things you need to do. Make sure
okay,
that you stay hydrated. And the smaller portion control, smaller portions. That's one of
right.
the biggest things. You know, we eat with our eyes before we even eat the food. So if you have a smaller plate, you'll put a little less on the plate and you're able to feel full a lot faster. Yeah.
So the
And one
suggestion
of the third things, mhm,
So the suggestion is smaller plates to start with. Plenty water and smaller
smaller plates,
plates.
correct.
Plenty water
Plenty
and
water
smaller
and
plates.
smaller plates.
You were going to tell me
Yes.
about a third one.
And
Go ahead.
well, actually, two more.
Okay, go
One of
ahead.
them is, most of the time when we're out with linemen, or even when we having a get together at home, so we cooking, we wouldn't necessarily eat until all the food is ready, right? But that leads us to eat more food because now we're hungry, we're extra
Mm,
hungry, we're starving at this point. So actually make sure you have your breakfast, you have small snacks throughout the day, so that by the time it's the feast and the festivities, you wouldn't overindulge because you're not extra hungry, right? So that's one of them. And the last one I was going to say is it's a concept that I share with clients a lot. It's called crowding out. So it basically means half your plate, you're going to have the healthier stuff. So that means like your salads and your vegetables and stuff like that. And then the other half of your plate, you'll add the things that you actually want, so to speak, in terms of like the pastel and the ham and the pork, and, So you're getting a bit of both worlds, yeah. And that
Narcia,
way, the vegetables have to keep you full faster as well.
yeah, what did you call
Longer,
it?
sorry.
What did you call it?
Crowding out, crowding out.
Crowding out. So you're trying to crowd
Yeah.
out the meat with the vegetables? Is that that's what the plan is?
And crowd out your plate a little bit so that way there's a little less room to put more food on it.
Ah. So the plate looks full, but it's really full with healthier things. That's the approach we're going for.
Exactly. There you
I hear you.
go.
Okay, so I'm interested in finding out more about this new craze that's going around. People talking about intermittent fasting because we know we're trying to say, all right,
Yeah.
how do we balance, what we're about to eat with all of the lack of exercise, etc., etc. Is intermittent fasting good for us? Is it bad for us? Should we be doing it or should we do away with that?
Everybody is different. Everybody would require something specific for them. So for some persons, intermittent fasting would work. A lot of people have done it. So it's basically you pick your time period of what time you're going to eat. Usually it's within an 8 hour window, and the rest of the time you're basically fasting. You'll just drink water. So most of the time, some persons break their fast around 11 and they go for 8 hours, and then that's it for them for the day. So you just have to figure out the timing that works for you best based on your schedule and your general lifestyle. Because for some persons, they're so busy that may or may not work for them,
Yeah.
right? So it's a matter of figuring out what actually works for you.
I know
And that may
people
mean trial and error.
Yeah, but I know people are also concerned, at least with things like ulcers or any sort of thing like that that can develop when you don't eat for long periods of time. Or should they be concerned about anything like that? Any health malfunctions that could go wrong even if you're just trying it?
I don't think so from the ulcer perspective because at the end of the day, you're still going to be eating. within a 8 hour window. It's basically like you're going to work. You'll eat
Right.
when you're in the morning, in the middle of the day, and just before you get home, or by the time you get home, you'll eat. So it's still within that 8 hour window, and you're
Right.
drinking your water and all the good stuff that your body still needs,
Yeah.
right?
Now,
A lot of times, some stuff like ulcers and stones and all these things that tend to develop is because we're consuming stuff in excess. So, like some persons
mm.
who like a lot of sports drinks, but they're not actually playing sports, for example, they may end up with some kidney stones and that sort of thing because they're not burning out the sugars and everything that's in the sports drink, for example. So those are things that you need to be mindful of. It's that when you overindulge and your body doesn't get to break the stuff down
Yeah.
quickly enough so that it can be eliminated from your system. Remember, it's our kidney, our liver, our skin, all these different organs are working on a day-to-day basis. So when we overindulge, not just on a one-day basis, for example, like Christmas, but when we do it all of the time,
Yeah.
it
So,
it
Nariscia,
tends to bombard the system.
Narissia, as you reach across the drinks, right? In this
Yes,
festive season, we tend to drink a lot of things. We have the sorrel. Everybody wants some sorrel for Christmas. Everybody want punch creme. We're drinking ginger beer. Are there any health concerns that we should be having? I know, for example, with sorrel, we tend to add lots and lots of sugar to get it to
that's all
taste the way that we
sugar.
like.
Yes.
Should we be concerned about that level of sugar intake? Any concerns when it comes to the drinks in particular?
Sugar on a whole, overall, in excess, again, has its implications, and we know this. Pancha creme, the milk, it causes a buildup of mucus in your system. So you'll start to feel a bit bloated. You might notice your joints hurting a bit more because you're overindulging in the stuff that on a normal day you would not eat or drink, as in this case, right? So it's a matter of being mindful of your body. I'm not saying don't enjoy. It's the
Yeah.
season. We've had a very rough couple of years, so everybody wants to go out and have fun and interact with their friends and family and stuff like that. But it's a matter of paying attention to your body. I know for myself, I enjoy punch prep, but it's only during Christmas I'll enjoy it, and I know my limit because I will start to feel the effects of it if I drink too much. And I'm not talking from the alcohol perspective. I'm talking about in terms of how my system functions. So you need to be mindful of that. Some of the things that you might feel bloated, your stomach might feel a bit hard. This is
Right.
from the food and the alcohol. You'll feel you might be gassy, you'll have pain in your joints, all these different things come along because of the excess we may have during this time period.
Okay, and that excess would also include alcohol, I assume, right? Because alcohol also can have negative effects on your actual body as well.
Correct, correct. And of course, for those persons who still have to go to work or who has to drive and all these things, we know that is also an issue because there are times you'll be tired, you may be a bit hungover, and
Mm-hmm.
things may not necessarily happen to you, but you need to remember that there are other people on the roads as well, and you could potentially cause harm in that way as well.
Most definitely. But right after Christmas, we head straight into the carnival season. And as we're talking about that aspect of things, the drinking, the driving, we want people to, of course, be careful. But, people gear up for these big all-inclusive events that happen where they go and they eat their belly full and they drink all the alcohol. Are there things that we should be mindful of even in this concept? Because, we could say that we're working it out, right? We're going to fete and party afterwards.
One of the things actually between Christmas into Carnival that is also a big factor is sleep deprivation. And so with eating excess and drinking excess, and now you're not getting your rest, you're affecting your body in so many different ways, right?
Mm,
Outside of the stuff that I mentioned just now, it could lead to things like elevating your blood pressure and you wouldn't even know. And you are walking around a potential stroke patient because it's affecting your system. So that's something that persons need to be mindful of as well. Listen, I could go on 2 hours sleep, man, go to the party and then go to work, and not realizing that the body actually needs the rest to recuperate, rejuvenate, and to go again.
Narisio, I find like you're shouting at me and I don't like it. A feeling like you're
And
shouting at me
a
and I
Paul in your
don't like it.
garden.
So
It fall in your garden.
I think this is where we're gonna wrap up this morning, Nariscia. Thank you so much for joining us on the Now Morning Show, and thank you for sharing the tips with us. I mean, for me, the takeaway from this definitely is, of course, everything in moderation. Lots of water,
Correct.
smaller plates, small meals throughout the course of the day, especially when you're cooking, and crowding out,
Yes.
making sure them vegetables crowd out the meat. Put plenty vegetables, plenty salad, less meat. Thank you so much, Nariscia Phillip-Peters,
Correct.
for joining us this morning.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Take care and Merry Christmas. All the best for the season.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
All right, that's Nariscia Phillip-Peters, founder of Holistically You, just sharing with us some tips on how we can do better for the holiday season. We take a quick break, we come back. I think we have your birthdays next, so stay tuned.